Welcome to AgriBot channel. Floods are a major threat to farming, especially in states like Bihar and Odisha, where water can stay in fields for many days and destroy standing crops. In this video, let's see how post-flood crop management and index-based flood insurance help farmers reduce losses, rebuild income, and become more resilient. Flooding is not just a weather event for farmers, it directly affects livelihoods and food production. In many flood-prone areas, water remains in fields for 6 to 15 days, which is enough to severely damage kharif crops, especially rice. The problem becomes worse because of extreme rainfall, poor drainage, and embankment breaches. That is why flood resilience is now a very important part of agricultural planning. The article highlights some especially vulnerable districts: Muzaffarpur and East Champaran in Bihar and Puri in Odisha. These places face repeated flooding due to extreme rainfall events and weak drainage conditions. In some cases, river embankment breaches make the situation even more serious. For farmers in these districts, recovery planning after floods is just as important as crop planning before the season. In 2017, ICAR Indian Institute of Water Management, Bhubaneswar, along with ICAR Research Complex for Eastern Region, Patna and IWMI, Colombo, started a focused research initiative. The goal was to improve agricultural resilience in flood-prone areas through post-flood crop management and index-based flood insurance, or IBFI. Another important aim was to build technical support for PMFBY by improving how flood extent and flood duration are assessed in farm fields. This is important because accurate assessment leads to fairer and faster insurance decisions. Before recommending any intervention, the institutes first studied flood frequency and flood extent in the target districts. This helped them identify the most severely affected locations and design strategies for different post-flood situations. That is a key lesson for any disaster-prone agriculture system. One solution will not fit all fields. Good recovery starts with understanding how often flooding happens, how long it lasts, and how badly the crop is affected. In Gait block of Muzaffarpur district, crop damage was assessed according to flood duration and extent at different crop stages. Based on this, index-based crop insurance payments were made to affected farmers. This is a practical model because it links compensation with measurable flood indicators rather than only relying on delayed field-level claims. The article reports that both the number of farmers covered and the support delivered increased over time. In Bihar, flood-affected farmers were given seeds of alternate crops such as hybrid maize, lentil, mustard, brinjal, tomato, cucumber, cabbage and cauliflower. These were sown or planted at the optimum time after floodwater receded. That timing made a big difference, because waiting too long after floods can mean losing the next crop window as well. The intervention shows that recovery is not only about compensation, but also about quickly shifting to suitable crops for the new field conditions. The financial gains from timely post-flood cropping were quite significant. Farmers earned about 16 rupees 700 per hectare in additional net returns from alternate crops like maize, compared to flood-damaged fields without intervention. For vegetables such as tomato, brinjal, cabbage, cucumber, and cauliflower, net returns increased even more. This shows that with the right crop choice and timing, post-flood agriculture can become a strong recovery strategy instead of just a survival measure. Another important finding came from Odisha, where overaged rice seedlings of 60 days were used in flood-prone areas. These seedlings gave higher grain yield than the normal 30-day-old transplanted seedlings. In simple terms, when floods disrupt the usual transplanting schedule, slightly older seedlings can help farmers recover the rice crop more effectively. This is a practical adaptation farmers can use when delayed field operations become unavoidable. The intervention was not limited to short-duration crops alone. Farmers were also encouraged to plant mango saplings in their agricultural fields as a longer-term cushioning strategy during flood events. Overall, the post-flood management package improved the benefit-cost ratio substantially, showing that resilience planning can also be economically sound. The broader message is clear. Combining crop planning, insurance and diversified farming can make flood-prone agriculture much more stable. So the big takeaway is this: floods may be unavoidable, but crop losses and income collapse can be reduced with the right post-flood strategy. If you found this useful, like the video, share it with fellow farmers and agriculture students, and subscribe to AgriBot channel for more practical farming insights.